Hello, everybody. I'm having a good day. I was having a good day, and it just got even better. Hi. Hi, Chris. How are you? Congrats on the, Homa. Hu Tao is gonna be super, super strong. But yeah, I'm gonna log into the day in the next 3 days. Anniversary primos. The gadget does look very cute if it's a little jellyfish. But I was literally thinking, first off, I'd have to update it, and I don't have the storage space for that. I'd have to move all the game files onto my other driver. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know, I'm really not feeling Genshin at the moment, and I don't know if I will ever again, to be honest. You're not underwater, he puts himself in a hydro bubble. Okay, that is very cute, actually. That is very cute. I do always like the little pets they give for the anniversaries. But I'm just kinda not feeling it, I suppose. And I don't know if I ever will again. I know! I think an era has ended in my life. But I played some more 14 today. I procrastinated on the main story in Final Fantasy 14 again, and I'm 1 level away from turning Conjurer into White Mage, so I've been justifying it by saying, oh, I'm close to upgrading to White Mage, so I can just, like, work on that class instead of doing the main story. Man. I gotta get y'all into Final Fantasy 14. It's kind of taken over my brain as the game that I log on to when I just feel like running around and doing mindless things, collecting and gathering and stuff. But I am gonna try to make some progress on it this weekend. If not this week, then next week for sure. If not this upcoming week, then the following week for sure. I am expecting to be ready to start Heavensward in Final Fantasy 14. I know I haven't streamed any of it before, but it is what it is. The Archon quests, sure, yeah. I've seen some screenshots and stuff on Twitter of some things. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I saw the knave. I saw her. But yeah. But yeah, today I recorded some things for my voice lessons and stuff, which I felt really good about, or better than I expected to, since it's kind of rough, but like, I'm in training, you know, it's okay. And then today I had to call and find out whether I was going to be assigned to jury duty today. I made the call about an hour ago, and I don't have to go. My day has been made. I don't have to go. And I feel like a weight is off my shoulders. Like, I've been dreading this for so long. Like, yeah. But I'm glad. I don't have to spend all day sitting in a courtroom, or sitting in a room, probably with not much to do. I would bring a couple books. I would bring some, probably several books I would take, considering how much time I would have. I would just bring a book and read all day and get paid $9 for a full day's work. They pay you $9 for a day of jury duty. $9 for the whole day. It's great. Just don't pay me anything. Like that, I feel like that's more insulting than not being paid at all. Like, wow. Life will change, yeah. I've been in a Persona mood again, but then again, when am I not? Might be because I just started watching another streamer start P5. Yeah. But yeah, we have a Tactica coming up in little less than 2 months at this point. Probably about a month and a half or so. A little more than a month and a half at this point. It's like mid-November. We should be done with this game by then. We should be done with both Great Ace Attorney games. Should be done with the... we're on the 4th case of the first game, and we're kind of going through this quickly. And then when I start adding in maybe some more Final Fantasy 14 streams, I might even try a test stream over the weekend if I can find, like, time for it. I may do a little test casual Final Fantasy 14 stream, and I want to see what happens if I try to bump up the stream resolution and the bitrate, because shit's flying all over the screen all over the screen in 14 combat. But with my computer, with my dinky little laptop, every time I've tried to stream in 1080 resolution, and you have to put it to a higher bit rate, but I always drop frames at higher bit rates. But at lower bit rates, when things happen on screen, it just looks like a bunch of pixels. And so I would like to avoid that if at all possible. So I may do a little test to see if that works, because every time I try to stream in 1080 with Genshin always also got kind of pixely. And reload drops hardest difficulty? What, for first run? Oh, we'll see. We shall see. But what was I saying? Yeah, I might do a little test stream as like a little introductory 14 stream. I'll probably just do some casual things, some dungeons, because I know I haven't played any 14 on stream, and I don't know if anybody is here at all or not. Hello, Bet. You've decided on a genius idea. What is this genius idea? But I know nobody has. Yeah, for first run, you think I should play it on hard? I mean, if they are continuing the trend of making the games easier, more quality of life updates and stuff as they go on, it should be more manageable. Yeah, there's the way they made it as hard as original. Yeah, I would think that. Yeah, that makes sense. But I know I haven't streamed 14 at all, and nobody's gonna know what's happening, but I want to do it because this game is yeah. So I might do a couple very casual streams just to kind of like ease into it, and then when I get to the expansions, mayhaps, I don't know. Stream goal for reading Honkai Impact 3rd manga. I was literally thinking about this earlier, I'll be honest, because I think between Genshin and Honkai and everything, my brain is just kind of burned out on gacha stories. Not just the stories, but like the whole universes of them. I know. I think I'm kind of like burned out, honestly. Like, somebody just tell me what happens in it, okay? Just give me the Cliff Notes summary at this point. Like, it seems very unlikely at this point, to be honest, that I will ever go back to Honkai Impact 3rd or Genshin Impact, because I'm just kind of burned out so badly with them, and the thought of going back sounds exhausting. And I'm starting to feel a little fatigued with Star Rail already. I think it's just the gacha system of feeling like I need to log in several times a day to make sure I'm making the most of my energy and stuff and whatnot. And then trying to play a couple variety games on top of that, and then wanting to just chill in Final Fantasy 14. It's just getting to be a bit much, so yeah, it's a bit much, I think. And I think that ship has sailed. My interest is kind of shifting. Must I log in for like 2 hours a day? Hello, Echo, how are you doing? You lost the 50-50. Oh no, in Genshin? Oh, were you playing for Hu Tao? Oh, I'm sorry. To Chi-Chi, no! Not Chi-Chi! Not Chi-Chi, no! But I'm sorry. But you still have a couple weeks to try to get her. And maybe since you got Chi-Chi, that'll summon Hu Tao, since isn't she trying to like bury her or something? It's been a minute since I've done any Genshin lore stuff, or anything Genshin related. But yeah, I mean, it is a little sad, I guess, but I'm just before soft pities. Okay, it was technically early. Okay, that's good at least. But yeah, I'd like to know just generally what's going on. The Persona... Probably... Well, is that game even going to be available in the US? I thought it was just only going to be available in China. But even if it was, it's, I wouldn't, most likely. Because it does just seem kind of like a P5 reskin. 70 pulls? Oh, I forgot. Brain is not braining and mathing. But, yeah. Long story short, I am kind of moving out from, I really think I wanted to, like, transition to being, like, really, I mean, not that I haven't already, but, like, really variety focused, which I guess I have been, since I haven't really streamed Man, I mean, like, I used to be mainly a Honkai and Genshin streamer, and now neither of those games really interest me. So, yeah, variety is kinda... Variety's the spice of life, as they say. Games mocking me by giving me a full rarity 5-star that I'd rather not have. Man. Well, at least you're guaranteed. That alone makes... Well, at least you're guaranteed, and reruns do have... I still need to make that louder, but that still caught me off guard. Hi, Cam. How are you? I do need to bump that up to a real jump scare. Oh yeah, I brought out the stress ball yesterday because this game stressed me out, and it's flat. The stress ball is somewhat deflated. Look at this. But I need it. You're on 2045. Well, I'm sure she reruns at least like once a year. I swear they do that. Unless it's somebody like Eula, but... I feel like reruns happen quite frequently. I don't know. But, gay lawyer game confirmed to do physical damage. Yeah! Physical and emotional damage. Physical damage to this thing, emotional, and not just emotional, like mental damage. Like, my brain is like... The end of the third case did not make me feel good. I don't know if that was the right verdict we should have gotten, and now he was the fire, and now we have a loser boy to defend, which I'm looking forward to because I love a good loser boy. Yeah, BRB, no worries. But I am eager to see where this case goes because it is like a Japanese defendant in a British court, and he has no one to defend him except us, who are Japanese lawyers. So we're certainly not going to have a biased jury and judge, I'm sure. But I'm very curious to see where this goes. And Herlock looks like he's going to be here too. I missed my silly Herlock. I want to see the silly man again. I want him to just like pop out of like the most random places in the scenery. All right. Let's hop on into the game then. I'll probably won't stream as long as, I'll try not to stream as long as I did yesterday, because I do need to be up very early for work tomorrow, so I want to get some sleep, but you know how this game kind of takes me over, so like, we'll see. We may end up streaming longer, I don't know. We'll see. Let's just hop on in. Alright. I also think I'm gonna put my face cam like down off to the side a little bit. So, oopsies. Majima, shut up. I think I'm gonna go off to the side for like, during trials you can see my health bar up here, but like, if my I won't put my camera over there so you can see the evidence and whatnot, but yeah, I think I'll keep my camera there for now, and if I don't have a health bar, my reminder and my motivation will be in the corner, at least for a little while. But yeah, oh my god, we got a different opening screen, probably because we ended in the streets last time instead of in a courtroom. We have entered the clouded Kokoro. Yeah, we have oh yeah, we have a chinless man who looks like he would fit right in at Bob's Burgers with this kind of facial structure. I'm tormenting myself by reading this again. All are treated equally in the eyes of the law. I hope that's gonna be the case in this trial. I like making myself sad. How did we get this band? Did we just like, did somebody like retrieve it from his body? Cause, I mean, Ryunosuke never saw his body. I mean, I'm sure that would have been too hard anyway. So did someone like, I mean, he always wore the thing. This is anime, they never changed their outfits. But yeah, he had the armband. Unless, there's a detail that he didn't have it on in the photograph or whatever, but you know, he always had it on. And did, like, Hosonaga or somebody give that to me from his body? Because that makes me sad. You're gonna jam me a meme? Okay. Should I be scared? Let's examine the scenery first. Please let Herlock be in here.
What a delightful snowman!
I didn't realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. Looks a little creepy though.
Oh, it has a scarf, look!
You'd need one too if you were out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one.
I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment too.
The Doofenshmirtz anime meme? Oh yeah. I remember you said something about that.
We certainly can't afford a scarf.
Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his.
But the person who made the snowman certainly would.
Oh yeah, he mumbled under his breath, always. He says everything he's thinking. He's got no filter. Even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. I mean, a snowman doesn't need a scarf, right? Because he's cold anyway. Hello, Scotland Yard. That's one of the officers from Scarlet Yard. Wow, Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons.
I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern.
Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Nope. Oh yeah. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. They probably don't want us tampering with the crime scene or like risking us doing that either.
Yeah, dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It tells you no—
What, the one where he's in the courtroom standing like this with his eyes just like darting all around? Daily News, William Robbins, a carriage.
Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to crime scenes and cart away criminals.
You're very well informed, aren't you?
It's been a long dream of mine to ride in one of those through the streets of London.
Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then.
But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it, wouldn't it?
I mean, that's the easiest way.
Still, if it's the—
Oh my god! Oh my god! Susato criminal arc! Let's go! Man, she's so set on riding in that thing. Wow. No, I wasn't serious. Can Herlock pull some strings for us and let her ride in there? This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred.
Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it?
That's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oi, what are you foreigners doing here?
Ah!
Oh, we were just investigating the scene, officer. Conspiring with that mustached fellow from Japan, are ya? Conspiring? We're his defense. Come here to destroy evidence. Oh my god. Get out of here before I give you an hiding. Go on, bruh.
He shooed us away like rats.
Yeah, we should give him a wide berth, I think.
What a disappointing experience.
Is that everything on this side? There's broken windows there.
That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history.
Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around there. It's Strand Street, not Baker Street. That's not where Herlock lives, alright.
We must find some cheap lodgings ourselves as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right, cheap, but ideally with reasonably level floors. A bike?
Oh, a British bicycle, look! Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore.
Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling.
It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well.
The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that.
Goodness, do you dislike bicycles?
Hey, your descendant is gonna ride one to work every day. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. Huh? You ever try walking on stilts and falling into a river? I know you. Are you speaking from experience?
We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around.
Oh, did it like drive through the fence here? There's a broken patch there. Windows of the building.
Are you sure they're windows?
Yes, but they're all filled in with bricks. Interesting.
Oh, you're right. I wonder why.
This seems like a very private person. What if this is Herlock's place? I get the feeling it might be.
Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment.
There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though.
Oh dear. Everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place.
It's an anime general? Oh boy. Alrighty. Is that everything? Oh, the Capitol building? Or is this the court? The clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? And with the dense fog as well. Everything looks hazy.
Well, it is known as Foggy London Town.
I can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. Looks like it's still oh, was that the Crystal Tower?
Aha, yes! That must be the Crystal Tower, being built for the Great Exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Apparently it's going to be very striking, glazed on all sides, and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition.
It's to be the largest exposition in history, isn't it? I can't even begin to imagine it. Alright, is that everything to investigate? There's the smoke on the building. I think that's everything then. So let's talk to this man. Hi, Tobias. I keep wanting to call him Greg, but I know that it's not Greg Lestrade. Wait, did he say he has a Lestrade, right? Oh, Tobias Gregson. I thought Inspector Lestrade. I know. Alright, Tobias Gregson. And this is our client, Soseki Natsume. He is my sweet little loser boy. Okay.
Tell me about the Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, I've been fascinated by the place.
The Yard is the most sophisticated police and organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am.
Oh, and you know, I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet.
Please let her wear it. She wants to. Come on. Just make him look the part. Seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. Herlock, yes. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city.
Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful?
Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you.
Oh, really?
First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and rouses all the laborers on his beach so they can get off to work. He wakes people up. Yep, raps on the windows with a long pole. Did it myself, going back a bit. He's not, I don't even know what kind of accent I'm doing.
I had no idea.
Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. Herlock, did I notice what? That's the regulation distance. I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way.
Let me see.
He takes a bite of his- oh yeah! This food. Yeah, he's got the infinite food hack with his little-
with his chips. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama.
On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. Infinite snack. And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. He's in Minecraft creative mode, he is!
Oh my!
And I suppose in between all those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well?
And chase after criminals trying to evade the law?
I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly, more alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. Do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit.
I had always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart but I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo.
What? You don't want to do all that work? Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. Anyways, BRB, no worries. About the case. It happened at around 5 in the evening 2 days ago. Just there out on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Is it right that the lady's still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in the hospital. I never said she was a lady. Oh my god, bruh. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's yard policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job. You gotta do it, buddy.
Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept.
Alright. A street map of the local area showing where the victim was found. Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countryman. So who did it, do you think? Not much of a head-scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but
just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present.
I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure.
How?
Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. Huh? We have 2 very reliable witnesses, no less.
Huh?
Oh my god, what if one of these witnesses is the real culprit then? It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. Oh boy, we got witnesses now. I didn't have any coffee just now. I had a coffee earlier, but I'm not having any now because I want to sleep tonight. Alright, I want to look at this. So, Briar Road, this is where she was found. Calabash Road is like behind there. Meersham Street. Okay. Let's talk about the trial for tomorrow. The twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not? You gotta do it, buddy. Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. But it's gonna be good for him to know that somebody's in his corner. We really have nothing to lose, you know? We really have—
Hello, Ash! Hello, how are you? Hi! How's it going?
But yeah, he has nobody in his corner. But we really— there's really nothing to lose here, I feel. It's a bit strange. The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court for once for a good few years now. And now he's back and he lost.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones. Master criminals?
The violent ones?
I just binge-watched all of Castlevania Nocturne. Oh, I have to calm the vampire autism down with the lawyer autism. Nice, nice. I keep meaning to watch Castlevania, and I want to play some of the games too. There's multiple games, right? That's another one for the infinite backlog. That's right, he handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. I will. It's so good. I'm sure it is. The backlog of games and the watch list just get longer and longer. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely. That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase. Sink his teeth? Like a vampire? Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it? No, there's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest. Does he want to go up against me again? Does he have a feeling that Ryunosuke would take on the case because it's a Japanese defendant? What sort of reason? Think I can tell what's going on inside that— the head of the Lord of Darkness! Yep, here, I think this man, Van Zeeks, is the combination of the vampire and the lawyer autism. Yep, we got a vampire here, literally. You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he puts it? These witnesses. Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife, and the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard. Oh, geez, surely this is not going to be rigged in any way if we have a cop testifying against our guy. A policeman? That might change things.
And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked?
Nothing peculiar about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being a bobby, catching them banging the act and all that. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Be my guest. You can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh my god, bruh. I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. That's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems.
A policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this can make our job very difficult indeed.
Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led you to the suspect, I hear that it was Mr. Herlock Sholmes. What are you bringing him up for? Was it something I said? The colors drain from his cheeks.
Tell me about Mr. Sholmes!
Is he here? Yeah, well, obviously. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings.
I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions.
If it's one of his great deductions, it's gonna be wrong in some way. Fiddle faddle! Huh? The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Can one of those little potatoes just, like, pop out of the cone when he squeezes it? Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he?
Yes.
Oh, what is my voice doing? My voice is still warming up.
He has a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he?
Gibble gabble! Ever seen this before? Oh yes, that's Ranced Magazine. Did we... Oh, I guess Susato kind of told Rinosuke about their relationship in like a little aside, right? Like, he didn't hear us talking about Herlock back in the Supreme Court.
The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Herlock Sholmes appears.
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the odds detectives in its stories. I did not read Ranced Magazine! And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Herlock Sholmes tale at all.
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be fromped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals. You know what? More power to him.
That can't really be true, can it, Inspector?
Clearly the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. Well, I don't think we're gonna get any more useful information out of the detective. I want to see Herlock!
Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion?
Oh, yes, what is it?
Well, it seems to me... Now, you must speak with him about this.
With Herlock, you mean? By him, do you mean? Mr. Sholmes? Oh, the Scotland Yard guys are gone, all of them.
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, exactly!
Look at those shining eyes, you can't wait. Aww! She's adorable. Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all this, didn't he?
Yes, he did! He really did! Which makes him an involved party in this case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not.
Aw, she just wants to... Yep.
I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again.
Then why is my selfish desire in orange? The trouble is, We have no idea of the man's address even. It's gotta be that Baker Street! Aha! Of course she knows. How do you know that?
It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world.
Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We better try to find our way there before Susato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable.
Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage.
So we're to have a reunion with the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes! Can we really visit? Yes, let's do it! Imagine doxing yourself to all of London. Yeah, like, why do you use his real address in the stories? Anime? Oh my god, I love the low quality anime.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Show me the man! Lots of stuff scattered about. My friend actually made 221B in The Sims. Oh my god, that's actually so cool! Nice! So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. Is he gonna pop out of the fireplace? Is it as described in the stories, Miss Susato? Susato-san? Aww. This is the best day of her life.
Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room.
Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. Sean's sweet theme song! Ooh, I like it. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be.
The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism! Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, I suppose I can, yeah. This is probably what I sound like talking about all my interests to my family.
So, if you don't mind...
Is she gonna snoop?
I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer.
Is she gonna try to rob from, like, steal something? Little bit of Maya Fey in there. Little me talking about my whole special interest. She's obsessed. You know what? I'm happy for her. It's cute seeing her all happy like that. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me, is anybody home? This is why I kin Susato. Oh, do we have a... Is it Miss, what's his... huh? This girl. Oh, I knew she had to have worked with him because like the goggles look the same as the ones that he has. So, is she like the what's the lady that like God, I forget the name of the lady that like rents the apartment out to him, you know? I forget the name of the lady, but like this is her but small, I guess.
Hello, is this a big new case for Mr. Sholmes?
Hello? Wait, are you?
Oh, how rude of me! I'll go and make some tea at once.
All right, bye. I'm sure it's the same girl. Mrs. Hudson, that's it, but that's not her. Okay. Miss Susato, did you see the girl who was just here?
Oh, yes. Isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case.
The King of Bavaria?
King Wilhelm Gottreich Sigismund von Ornstein, of course.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for my mouth is warming up. Wow. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over here.
The tea is
My voice just cracked.
The tea's brewed, and I have freshly baked cake as well.
Wilhelm Gottsreich Sigismund von Ormstein, King of Bohemia. Was he a real Sherlock Holmes character?
It's you.
I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. This girl. Scandal in Bohemia. Ah, nice.
I'm taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial one of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilda's trial in the defendant's antechamber.
I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London.
Yes, it was challenging.
Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know.
Okay, thank you. This tea's supposed to look that... What color is it? You know, she got the colorful smoke and the colorful tea.
Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray, it's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley! Hurley!
Man, anytime I learn a man's nickname in a game, I just like go feral. Hurley! Mr. Sholmes to you, Shirley. Hurley, you can't be serious, Shirley.
Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea.
Why do you, as a man, have a silly little nickname? Indeed, why?
I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas.
Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth... Yeah, how does she know that we're gonna defend this guy tomorrow? And we haven't actually fully accepted all it. Did she deduce all those things, do you think?
And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I? It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson.
Any relation to John Wilson? F's in chat for John Wilson.
I live here together with Hurley.
Iris, is it? What a lovely... what? What's the matter?
No, wait, this can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson?
What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden?
Yes, that's right. And what are your names?
Oh yeah, was John Wilson your dad? Because I was falsely accused of his moida back in the day. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan.
Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikutoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runo. Got it. Susie?
And Bruno? There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start.
Yes, and so do I.
Alright, first let's snoop. Time to make like a dog and snoop. What is this, a microscope? What on earth is this huge over-the-top machine?
That's the greater analytoscope. It can analyze anything, really. Anything at all. That's absolutely incredible. It's one of Hurley's inventions. It took him a whole year. He said it was to help him with his investigations. What sort of things has he analyzed with it? Do you know? Well, actually, he hasn't used it for anything yet.
Oh. Why not?
Apparently, on the evening he finally completed it, it suddenly occurred to him, I don't actually have anything I need to analyze.
And nothing has come up since?
Oh dear.
Oh, that sounds classic Herlock, I see.
How about you, Bruno? Do you have anything you'd like to analyze?
The only thing that springs to mind is this machine itself. What can we put Herlock's brain under a microscope? Because I want to put that there. Chalice, skull, chair, violin. Does he play? Or do you play? I've seen pictures of Western musical instruments like this. It's called a violin, isn't it?
Of course it is. Mr. Sholmes is renowned for his violin playing.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. It's often explained in the stories. It's inspirational, Mr. Naruhodo. Inspirational. I immediately started playing the koto, which was the closest Japanese stringed instrument I could find.
What a shame you couldn't bring it with you to London. Oh my god, they could have a duet! Aw.
Oh, yes. Well, Papa was beaming when I asked him if he would buy me one. But after a while, he asked if I would only practice when he was out of the—
Oh, no! Oh, that's so mean of him!
Well, you gotta get better by practicing. It's merely an ornament in my room.
That must have been an awkward conversation. Oh, I got an achievement for that. For examining the violin before talking with Iris. Cool. I love that you get achievements for like just little random things in these games. It's great. Ooh, there's a underneath my camera. There's a thing. Underneath Baby Girl 2. There's like a globe of sorts that I can look at. There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. Sorry, I was just thinking in terms of achievements. I hope I hope in the Apollo Justice ports there's an achievement for getting the Yes Daddy dialogue. If there is not an achievement for that, I'm going to be very upset. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help the feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment.
I keep telling Hurley not to cram so much on those shelves.
Good advice.
He wanted to look something up in one of those books a while ago. But it was so tightly wedged in, he couldn't get it out. So he went and bought a new copy instead.
Man, what an eccentric man. Anything else over here, or no? Is that all? I believe that's everything over here. Shoe and mirror. Mirror. Or fireplace. I do like this fireplace. It's one of the best things I've seen since we arrived in the country, in fact. Nice and warm. Lingering beside the furnace and watching the flames flicker and dance in the grate, it's so relaxing.
We can't relax now when there are so many interesting things on the mantelpiece. Oh, it's just as it was described in the stories.
Is it?
Yes, exactly. Inside that Persian slipper, for example. Oh, my chocolates for 11, sis. And transfixed by that large jackknife. It's my shopping list for the market.
Aww.
Oh, it's not quite how I remember it being described in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes.
Poor Susato-san, she looks crushed. Aww. Oh yeah, the books probably didn't mention the woman because we just, or the girl, I guess, because we just invented women and girls the other day. They've only been in the world for a couple months by now. It looks like the huge metal chest being used as a table for tea and coffee. Is being used. It seems very sturdy with an equally sturdy lock. What's in it? Let's open it.
Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't go around opening things. I always have to keep an eye on you, don't I? You're very mischievous.
Oh, what do you think I am, Maya Fey? You're supposed to be the Maya Fey counterpart. But you don't have the... Your inner Maya Fey is coming out in this room, it seems. But at least you maintain some decorum and don't go around touching things that you shouldn't. How did you come to that conclusion?
Ooh, that chest contains some of my most valuable things.
And that smile tells me you're not going to give me any clue about what they are. Green chair, teapot. This stuff here.
A mystery shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing men, a bust of Napoleon. What an entrancing collection!
This is the first time in my life that I've seen a lonely old shoe displayed as an ornament.
Oh, those are all mementos that Hurley has collected from his past cases.
Really? Even the bust?
Yes, that's right.
All things mentioned in the stories. Oh, that's so cool! That's really cool.
When the moon takes him, he likes to throw on the floor and smash it to dust.
Huh? Does it? The bust of Napoleon, which my face is once again covering. He likes to throw it on the floor. Does he just, like, reassemble it? Does it, like, respawn? How is it there? He destroys it?
Yes, and then he buys... Oh, there we go. He buys a new one.
You make it sound like he has the temperament of an insane sculptor.
How enticingly bohemian of him.
Yeah, I'm covering it. There's no good place to put my face, but we got chess pieces. Everything reminds me of him. Glasses, necklace, a bottle, a journal, the shoe, the mallet, lots of stuff. Anything on, oops, over here? In this part of the room, I guess this is Iris's workstation, it seems. Or, I would like if this was her locks, but, you know. What on earth is that big black lump over there?
Ah, that fascinating thing is called a typewriter. It's a machine that allows you to write on paper without needing a pen. And wizardly quickly, too.
Ooh, that sounds like it could be very useful for someone like me with terrible handwriting. I need to see a copy of his handwriting. Oh, does it look like a first grader's handwriting? Because I hope so. What a beautiful English tea set, and so neatly arranged.
It's a favorite pastime of mine, a cup of herbal tea in the afternoon. Tea made of herbs? That's right, I grow all sorts of herbs in the garden so I can experiment with different blends. One moment, don't go away. I'll brew a pot of the special blend I came up with earlier today.
She looks delighted. Is it gonna be, yeah. Is this an yeah, this is an experimental blend, I think she said, right? She literally just said. Or special, yeah. Math.
Ah, that's my blackboard where I note down ideas.
Oh, interesting. Let's see. Black Peter. What does that mean? Is that a tea recipe?
Don't you want to hear what Iris has to say, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'll come back to that blackboard later. Does that mean it's gonna be relevant somehow? There's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles, too.
Oh yes, but don't touch any of those. They might explode.
Explode?
Are they exotic chemicals? Do you use them for exciting experiments? Yes, indeed. And as Hurley always says, chemistry is an explosive science.
Sorry?
I agree. A single discovery can trigger an explosion of innovation all around the world.
Or perhaps he just meant it literally. Knowing Herlock, it's the latter. Either way, mental note, do not touch any bottle that belongs to Iris. Is that everything I can look at? It seems so. Alrighty. Let's chat then. Hi. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey?
Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you very much.
Or say much.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming.
Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Oh yeah, that one.
Like this? Thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you?
Oh yes, that awkward witness. That's one way to describe her, Gina Lestrade.
Oh, Ginny? Yes, she is a professional pickpocket.
So we found out.
It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that.
Are we referring to that trial-disrupting gun-like contraption?
Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions.
Yeah, go for it, yeah. Yes. I love wild pink inventors.
Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician.
Your technician?
Hurley, of course, silly.
Hurley?
Yes, Herlock. Herlock Sholmes. We live here together.
I had no idea. No idea that the great detective had such an interesting young daughter. What? You think that man gets bitches, Ryunosuke? Be real.
Daughter? Not likely.
Not.
I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I?
Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes?
Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate.
Your roommates? They are roommates!
I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year.
Oh my god, this girl's a prodigy. Me sitting here on my Horror of London. You know what? I like that too. I like both of these. I feel like the more I learn about him, but like the backstory I make up in my mind is just going to grow. I need to learn more about him. All right. Well, what of your mother and father?
Oh no, they're not around.
Is one of them dead? I wonder what the story is there.
Iris, yes, I want to adopt her. Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course. Go ahead, Susie. I am a very grateful fan of the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Ronst magazine. Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories...
Oh! Oh my god, she writes... Oh my god! Is this considered fan fiction then? Is she like sees these things and like, I'm sure she flourishes it a little bit, you know? Makes it like, sheesh! I wish I was like this at 10 years old, a writer, inventor, just, you know. What a queen. So she writes this. I love it. My stories.
That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you? Goodness.
The theme song.
Last night he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came.
We're gonna be in a novel! We're gonna be in a Sholmes story! Susato is gonna be over the moon.
So, you are the author? Yes, I'll let you in on a secret if you like. Like, I'm going to call the latest adventure The Speckled Band.
The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar.
Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories, here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble.
Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually.
Yes, and of course I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story! Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you? So, do you mean to say? Are these stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Ronst magazine? All written by me? Yes, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
Susato's getting more. Oh, okay, boy. Does she use her, I guess?
Yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson, but nobody wants to read anything written by a woman or a girl this day and age. But what about the doctor of medicine part? It's all true too. I am a doctor of medicine.
At 10 years old?
At 10 years old.
Well, that's quite incredible.
But,
oh, she has a PhD at 10 years old! Oh my god! Oh my god, Susato's whole world is just like crumbling.
Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman.
Have you ever heard of a pseudonym, Susato? What's his name? Just talked about that. Natsume just talked about that.
Yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. I suppose it does, yes.
Poor Sasato-san. She looks like her whole world is just falling apart. Man, the illusion has shattered. And deductions about before.
Yes, yes. What's on your mind, Bruno?
Oh wait, I forgot to present the badge to Natsume and what's his name, Gregson. I need to show that off to everybody. It's a tradition. Imagine your favorite mangaka was a 10-year-old girl. Oh my god. Yeah, that's what's happening here to Miss Sasato. Like,
what's on your mind, Bruno? Do tell me.
How do you know that I was a lawyer, that we just arrived in London?
Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How do you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please tell us how you did it. Explain every detail.
Did you learn how to deduce things from Mr. Sholmes?
Of course, I'd be delighted. Although there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin.
Oh my god, is she gonna do a great deduction?
Iris Wilson is proud to present her Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Yes! Yes!
First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Bruno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber.
But you also said we'd only just arrived in London. How do you know that?
I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket.
Oh.
So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country.
Yes, Logic and Reasoning Spectacular! Let's go! Iris's version!
And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs.
I was just like, you were either really brave or really stupid to go up against that if you knew. But yeah. The Reaper of the Bailey. I walked right into that one, didn't I?
And I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with a suspect, weren't you? Earlier today. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. I didn't realize. And a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So, that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case.
I see.
But how could you have known the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he'd caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling.
A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been our loser boy,
Mr. Natsume. Now, Runo has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it is clear to me that you both came from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided that you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion that those facts could lead you to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case.
Look at her, she got it all right, unlike Hurley.
There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing his nose with a knife, you know. He is silly!
He is silly! Yeah! He's so silly, just go and stab in the wall like that!
And that's all there was to it, really.
Silly! Professionally diagnosed with silly! Literally, yeah. He has a case of silly princess disorder.
Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Well, is it a winner? Were my deductions correct?
They were spot on. Your Honor, we stay silly, yeah.
That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction.
You haven't managed the certain something of Mr. Sholm's delivery.
Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about that case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please?
Okay, first... Could I show you? Oh, nothing.
How exciting it isn't! Tell me all about it!
This belonged to my dead boyfriend. Actually, I was hoping you might be able to tell me something
Why would it?
No, I suppose it wouldn't.
I want to hear everything!
You want to hear about... What you do want to hear about my dead boyfriend that this belonged to? Anyways... Case of the Japanese man. So, yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying?
Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage, but the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene.
Oh my god, there's a heart in her hair, that's cute. The great detective is a popular man, it seems.
Apparently, a woman was stabbed in a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking stooped man?
Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt. Sasuke-san said that he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all.
Hurley used his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking stooped man shivering in fear.
Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time.
Of course it did! He's a great detective!
Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the Look at him applying actual logic and thought process of real court to this. Yeah, it's too soon for the trial, right? But this is Ace Attorney, so we take some creative liberties.
Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says that London is rife with crime.
Oh.
Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Oh dear. I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person.
Well, that's kind of fucked.
That's terrible. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice.
I wouldn't call it the greatest if it's like that. But in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Soseki-san, but we can be his hope! Come on! Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative.
Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well.
Ah, well, I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene.
Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Natsume. Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings.
Hello, Reaper. Your Honor, to explain why the accused has been found guilty is because he was sus. Yeah, that's pretty much the reasoning they're going by with these arrests. He was sus, and that's like their best reasoning. How are you doing?
If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson while you were there?
Sasuke Natsume! Yes, we know Inspector Gregson. And his limitless potatoes.
Ah, goody, in that case.
Our friends been flexing their luck. Oh no, for in like a game? Oh no, I'm so sorry, no.
Give Gracie this from me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
What's this?
A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems.
Okay.
It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem." Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it?
Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try.
Good luck then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Bond.
Besides, I collected some grapes and did stuff. Nice! Wine time! Let's go! Nice! Homemade wine is cool. My dad makes wine, and it's pretty good. I think he most recently made it. I can't speak. Why am I being so weird today with my mouth? But he most recently made a batch of White Zinfandel, and it's quite good.
And I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back soon.
Words are very hard. I don't know why. I was sounding great earlier. I recorded some things for like my voiceover lesson earlier today, and I was fine. But now I'm like, wow. I guess I'm no longer warmed up from that. But I feel like I'm starting to slowly warm up. Also, I have a new mic coming in soon, so I won't have this one just like sitting on my desk like a foot and a half away from my face. I'll actually have one that I can have right in front of my face, so I don't have to strain as much. Yeah. I also word. Yes, new mic coming. And we'll actually have proper placement, so I'll actually sound better. Yes. I've been long overdue to get like a better one than what I have here, but it worked for a while. It got the job done, but I'm ready for an upgrade. I already sound good, thanks. I'm just working about like placement because like holding the mic up closer to your face results in a better sound because yeah. But yeah, I wanted a better one. And that's separate from the mic that I'm gonna use for voiceover things too.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, it's back to the scene of the crime.
So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all, we headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. To be continued. Is this our good old law boss route? I mean, we did already argue one course. We won a court case yesterday, although we're not feeling good about it. Our defendant was declared not guilty, even though he was kind of laughing maniacally at the end there, and there seemed to be evidence of somebody fixing up the evidence to make him look not guilty, and then he burned to death inside a carriage that was evidence. So all that happened. Yeah, we're kind of going through it. Yeah, and he is dead now. Alrighty. He burned alive? Yeah. Free food, stop! Oh my god! It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation. For legal reasons, that was a joke.
Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
Yes, and let's see if he'll take breaks from his chips to look up that silver tip Iris gave us for him. Hi, buddy. Oh, first can I show you this? Do you have anything to say about this? Inspector Gregson, can I show you this? It belonged to my dead boyfriend. Am I supposed to know what that is? I've never seen that insignia before. It's worn by defense lawyers in the Empire of Japan as a symbol of their profession. Barbecue! Crunchy Magnus. In other words, it's the worst drink. It's still proof that I'm a lawyer! It's very important to me. It shows my spirit, and it has my friend's spirit, too. This is one of my most prized possessions. An English gentleman keeps things like his spirit very much to himself, I'll have you know. Well, I have my spirit on my hip like this. Well, technically it's my friend's spirit. Well, too bad.
Don't give up, Mr. Naruhodo.
It's too late, he's crushed my spirit already. No! Well, we do have this for you. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I'm sorry to say that I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure.
We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson.
What? For me? From her ladyship? Huh? Her ladyship? Where's our man Kazuma? Yeah, were you here for the second case? We're on the fourth case now. The second case. The second case, he was the victim. And it really hurt me at the end. And it was an accident too. He died in an accident. It was involuntary manslaughter. That's why we oops. I'm very upset. It hurts. I'm about to ban the K name from stream because it hurts. Anyway. Oh my god, Reaper, no! Give that here at once. Come on, hand it over. That's for me! Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? Can I have those potatoes then? There's chips. What was that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's, well, an appearance fee, that's what it is.
An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean...
That's right. For the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me. Every time. We have to keep his memory alive. Yes, we do. We do have to do it for him. No, it's fair, yeah. I shouldn't do that to him. I shouldn't do that to him. Yes. Kazuma's in the chat, yeah. That's our boy. That's our boy.
Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly. I know all about your rivalry with Mr. Holmes.
Yeah, they idea what kind of potatoes these are. They just can't be consumed, and they respawn once I eat them. Of course, using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I'm sorry, Inspector. Is Cosmo gonna pull the Godot? I don't know. I mean, we got a post-mortem report and everything. Technically, we did not see the body, but we did have a photograph of the body. So, I mean, I'm always a proponent of no body, no death, but there was a whole investigation conducted and a post-mortem report and everything, so it's not looking good. Man, I'm sad. I'm sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you. Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then, eh? Sorry. Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, this Herlock and Susato. They did? Oh yeah, Herlock and Susato did see the body. Yeah, true, yeah. It's good that Ryunosuke didn't. Yeah, I guess because Adam, from his POV, that would have been too much. But yeah, Susato and Herlock did, yeah. Yeah, in the cutscene, they did. They did. I'm sick.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
Can we find a spirit medium and bring him back? I want to talk to him. Is everyone speaking in English? I think they're speaking English. Yeah. Oh, the little knife-wielding mustached Japanese fellow. He lives in a right old hovel. It's just over there. Look, is it the bricked up building? Why'd I say it like that? Why'd I say it like that? I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, on the first floor of the house on the corner where the wreck of a bicycle's propped up.
That is nearby indeed.
If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. John Garadeb. Right, well, to see her again, make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it. You tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now, then, and long live her ladyship. Oh my god, is she, like, meant to become, like, the queen or something? Is she, like, royalty?
Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left.
Yes, so then, shall we go see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings?
Definitely.
Alright. Let's go. He's gonna jump out of the fireplace, or he's gonna shoot out of the cannon, or he's gonna be... Where's he gonna show up from? Is he gonna be behind the divider? Where's he gonna make his grand entrance? Oh, is this... Mate, may I help you? Yes, would this be the residence of Mr. John Garadeb? Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling? My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I am...
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Sosuke Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here?
Yeah, Ryo can't feel his... I know, I'm really so sad. I, like, got really sad at the end of that case, like, out of nowhere. It just hit me all at once.
We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client.
One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garadeb. Did you see that, Mrs. Sato? That was a real-life English maid.
I know. As I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff.
But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. One of the jurors yesterday was literally a maid.
Oh, this day keeps getting better.
It certainly feels like we really arrived now, doesn't it? Juror number 2 was a maid.
You need only to meet a butler, and the experience will be complete.
Well, I'm not sure if I go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garadeb will see you now. Yeah, it's just kind of all over the place. Oh my god, that's so spiky. Let's snoop.
That looks like a Medal of Honor, and it's showcased on a very grand banner.
Yes, it's displayed with some pride, I would say, although it bothers me that it's not... I'm so sorry, I know. This line is so goofy to me. It's displayed with some pride, although it bothers me that it's not straight. I love that I always look to... Yeah. It's Ace Attorney, I gotta make everything gay, you know? Display it with pride and make sure it's not straight. Exactly! Hurrah! Exactly, yeah! He's the man that took the moon! And he turned it into his head! Well, so that old thing... Sorry? I should be glad to see the back of it, but... Oh, sorry, I should be glad to see the back of it, but the general...
Hello, LGBTQ community.
Hi!
Thank you, hello. Favors, welcome, thank you for the follow! How are you doing? And then, thank you, Akechi, for that warm welcome. I should be glad to see the back of it, but the general would turn in his grave if I disposed of it. When the moon hits your face, shapes your hair like the face that's... Garadeb. The wall's the best place for it, keeps the belly thing out of my way. So it's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose?
There appears to be an inscription on the medal itself. Look, let me see. It says, "For distinguished participation."
Oh my god. Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for. Oh. Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge in military circles. Uniform. That uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it?
It's clearly been well looked after, though.
That old thing? Not much better than rags, really. Wore that ceremonial garb at my retirement bash, you know.
Having a sleepy evening, but doing all right. That's great, yeah. But it's nice. Sometimes it's nice to just have a little nice sleepy night.
Yeah, that pipe is... yeah. He did just stir us to you with the pipe, didn't he? But I'm not one for dwelling on the past, me. Would have gladly thrown it out, but you know how it is. There he goes! Doesn't hurt to have the odd piece of memorabilia lying around, doesn't it? Oh, I see. Perhaps we should leave the past in the past. Cabinet... A cannon with an apron. That's a full-sized cannon. What's it doing in here?
Oh my, it's real. I thought it might be a replica.
That old thing! Take a shot every time he says that old thing. This man does not know a thing about pipe care, clearly. That old thing? That's little more than a toy. Do you think he uses that as a straw to sip up his tea? Or would that be improper, you know? Sorry? The army was selling it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home. Never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house. Huh. Oh, this old thing. My god, stop. Stop. It isn't overkill? Be prepared, I always say. You never know what this twisted rail is going to throw at you next, boy. Oh, if he lived today, would he be like one of those doomsday preppers?
Do you think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Garrett?
He probably uses it as a snorkel. Oh my god. Always says, take Joan here. Never fails to have a clean apron in reserve. And dries them over the barrel, you see. He's eager to inhale the copium. Why do you say it like that? Automod. Automod. It's from juice to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging in its head in shame. Yeah, why did he say, oh, this old thing? But yeah, we are, he's smoking that copium. Books! I notice you have a pile of books here, Mr. Garradeb. Do you enjoy reading? Ever experienced a London winter, boy? The nights are long. No better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book.
Oh, there's a copy of Ranston magazine here.
Oh!
No doubt Mr. Garrett enjoys the adventures of Sherlock Holmes too.
The great detective has a great many followers, it would seem. Is Herlock behind there? What? Oh yeah, I guess the rug would be kind of torn up around there to like make space for this.
Look at that enormous screen. It must have been put there deliberately, surely.
Yes, it certainly seemed like someone's trying to hide something from view. Oh yeah, there's like a cabinet or something behind there. Are they not allowed to say Sherlock Holmes? Oh, is that why it's Herlock? I think it's because, well, Sherlock Holmes was a first thing in a Maurice LeBlanc novel because Sherlock Holmes was copywritten at the time, and so he just switched it around to Sherlock Holmes as like some sort of like crossover novel that he did. Or, and was the name? It was localization. Oh, what was he called in the Japanese version then? I'm curious. Because was the name Sherlock Holmes public domain at the time of this game's release, or was it not? It's a copyright thing? Okay. And, Arthur Conan Doyle estate shenanigans and everything, yeah. Oh, it was Sherlock Holmes in the, Japanese? Interesting. Flaccid pancake moment! Man, I kind of wish they kept Flaccid Pancake for the anime of Stone Ocean solely for shits and giggles. Do we still have a chance for Filthy Axe at a reasonable price in part 7?
I'm going to have a
Please tell me Herlock is hiding behind there. Maybe let's not, Miss Sasato. I want him to pop out of somewhere in the scenery! I think the maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea. There's a candle on the ground. Huh. Oh, lots of stuff is smashed. Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it? I haven't watched JoJo's Stone Ocean yet. I didn't finish it. I watched the first 2 batches and I haven't yet watched the 3rd. I'm so behind on it, which is a shame because I love Jolene. I love part 6. Herlock changes the same reason why it's Wilson instead of Watson. No, the copyright. Bruh. Man. But I don't really care about A. That's fine. To each their own.
Oh my, a genuine London dresser? Isn't it delightful?
Everything's broken. Yeah, look at that. It's in pieces.
Oh dear, it's in pieces.
It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that chinaware justice. Some sort of struggle? Localization Tanzerini is someone originally called John Smith if they smelled a lawyer. True. We didn't see Steel Ball run.
I wonder. Perhaps the cannon was fired at it.
Oh, Susato. Yes, probably something like that, but let's not delve too deeply here. Desserts.
Oh, look! What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand.
Lined up? Looks like more like someone has half demolished them to me. Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know, which is quite the English way. It is Mr. Garrideb's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea.
That sounds delightful.
Oh, wait a minute though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand.
Well, naturally, and it would never do to waste the leftovers.
So whatever Mr. Garrideb does indeed, I say to myself, Joan, you shall have to tidy up. How magnanimous of you. You know what? Good for her. Big window.
This window looks out over Briar Road, where the young woman was attacked.
Oh, are these the witnesses then? But that was a man and his wife. No, the guy was a police officer. Never mind. He's just like the landlord, and yeah. I can make out the policeman on the far side of the road investigating the crime scene. $10 says the cakes are wax. You know, yeah, I want to imagine her just eating wax.
That glass is rather murky, isn't it? You can't see very clearly.
Does this thing open at all, I wonder? I shouldn't underestimate the bitterness of a London winter, sir. Sorry? As soon as you open that window, the tea will freeze in the pot. No Londoner would go opening windows at dusk in the middle of winter, I assure you. Seems very unlikely that these two would have seen anything of the incident then. Is that everything I can investigate? Oh, picture! That portrait of Mr. Garrideb is glaring at me, I swear.
Have you noticed that all the little frames contain photographic prints of Mr. Garrideb as well?
And they're all, like, broken. And there seems to be a statue of a lion on the mantelpiece as well. Ah, yes, seemed to come back from the local pawnbroker with that little trinket. Seemed to come back? What do you mean? The chap who runs that place is a bally wizard. Went in to sell him something and came out with that thing. In point of fact, now I think about it, I'd rather often find myself leaving the place with something I don't need. Oh my god, it's like Target. British Target is like an old pawn shop.
The lion ornament certainly does seem surplus to the requirements.
Susato-san doesn't pull her punches, or her throws for that matter. And then them. Good day to you, John Garrideb at your service. American Phoenix Wright. Correct bird! And then his rival prosecutor. Kilometers border value.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer.
Do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maywand, don't you know? Earned a medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and downstairs now, I can tell you. Don't get out much, as you can imagine. Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs.
You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo.
Do you think so? Can't believe we're talking to a genuine Skyrim guard! I still need to play Skyrim! Yes, he took an arrow to the knee! Oh. Yeah, he's a boomer! Yeah, and he's got a boomer in his room, cause the cannon, haha.
Well, Mr. Garrideb, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Well, we saw it's a participation medal. Oh, which was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't want to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. His original name was gonna be Roger?! What?! At least that makes more sense than Benjamin Hunter. I've never been the same since I learned that Miles Edgeworth's French name is Benjamin Hunter. That man does not look like a Benjamin! It bugs me! Every phone call would end in Roger, Roger. I love it. But I think I saw, Benjamin. But yeah, there was a tweet of that, and then someone quote retweeted it, saying that it makes up for it. Hold on. Come on. Oh no, she's pouring tea! Dash it all, woman! Be careful! Sorry. Straight Ace Attorney be like Benjamin Hunter. But yeah, apparently Gumshoe's French name is Dick Detective. Yeah, we got Mia Fey is the same. Okay. Benjamin Hunter, Dahlia Plantoul, Dahlia Plantoul, Dick Detective, Mia Fey is the same. I gotta see everybody's names. I need to see everybody's French names now. Oh, Phoenix Wright is the same? So why Benjamin Hunter, though? Why? Dick Detective. Conrad? Clavier is Conrad? Oh my god. I need to see all of these. Percentage, I guess? Yeah. Phoenix Wright, Benjamin Hunter, Dahlia Plantoul, Dick Detective, Mia Fey, Godot, Paul DeFess. Paul DeFay? What? Paul DeFay? Polly's named Alice? Polly is named Alice, it seems. Lisa, some of these are the same, and some are oh my god, Will Powers, Gustavo Lante. Maggie Lusso for Maggie Bird. Luigi LaBocca! Luigi What is that? Okay, I'm calling him Luigi LaBocca all the time from now on. He's not John Armstrong. He's Luigi I don't know why that's so funny to me. I don't know why that's funny. Luigi LaBocca. Like that sounds like a I don't know, Italian. And then Paul, yeah. Larry's name was changed from wait, shit. Oh my god, wait, is that actually like the French word for shit? Well, I know merde is French for shit, because that's like a ballet tradition that instead of saying like break a leg, you say merde before every performance. But his name means poop. So his name is Paul Poop. It's very similar to David. Oh my god, so his name is Paul Poop. Oh my god. He's Mr. PP. Well, he's PD, and oh my god. I'm getting so sidetracked, but it's worth it. It's worth it for Luigi LaBocca. I need to see some more. Ava Kozesosi for Lotta Hart. Bernick de Killer. Valerie was their sister. Matt Ongar, Flavie Echoulet for Wendy Oldbag. The Fays are the same. Max Galactica, Damien as opposed to Damon. Conrad Gavin! Groom. Because he was just bellboy, right? Jacques Hammer! That just works, yes. G. Vasquez is the same. Benjamin Hunter, Henri Hunter. Monique Coulier. Yanni Yogi is the same. Victor Kudo. Frank Calve. Is that another pun on Saw It? Red White, Richard Rellington. Francisco and Von Commerce are the same. Dick Detective is the best one. Dick Detective! Okay. Samuel Rosberg. I'm sorry. I got... Okay. Luigi LaBocca is the best one. Merde is a tradition, yeah. Yeah, that is a thing you do before ballet performances. Oh my god, why is my thing so tiny? Why was my webpage so tiny there? But yeah, I was a dancer for most of my life, so yeah. I want to get back into it. I miss it. Why is my things... Stop. Don't take that out of context. I apologize if that was small the entire time, but... This is important to me. Did they, like, make him Italian in this one? Because he's meant to be, like, a French guy in at least the... It seems like a lot of the other translations. So in the French one, did they make him Italian? Because I'm here for it. Anyways, that's enough Luigi. There is no context to anything. Anyways. Dash it all, woman, be careful, she just poured tea in his lap. Oh, dearie me. I do beg your pardon, sir. You're jolly near took my skin.
A watermelon.
Watermelon. Yeah, this man needs a watermelon. Was she saying anything in particular? Joan, fetch the something or other. What was... So she wanted to get the
boy.
He asked... Ooh, boy! He asked her to go get the medal, and then she just poured tea on his lap. Was that intentional? So, anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that right?
Yes, we'll be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us.
Only too pleased, naturally, even if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house, would you believe?
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes!
Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business. And I'm guessing the one you're holding is your cup of tea, because you're drinking from it.
Oh, but you have a copy of Ranst magazine here, so...
Does he read other stuff? Huh? Oh, no! Or is he a secret fanboy? Is he a secret fanboy? Or is he just like read the other stuff that's in it? Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak. So he's in Soseki-san's room. I need to see him. It's a bally nuisance is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. But if I have an opportunity to make a dumb pun, I will. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling. About Mr. Natsume.
About Mr. Natsume-san, Mr. Gerda, please do tell us.
Ah, yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week. Oh, just 1 week? So he moved in very recently then, but he's been abroad for a year, right? I have 2 lodges most of the time, one on the ground floor and one just below us. The first floor room became available a week ago, you see. Oh my god! She's doing that again. Dash it all, Joan! Do be careful! Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir. You don't seem very sorry. That seemed intentional. Yeah, he needs a way to burn the midnight oil after all, true. If you want to know my opinion. I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him. Why? Why? He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. Yeah, people have social anxiety, or just generalized anxiety even. That man had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. People have anxiety, maid. I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything. You won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all?
Yes, oh yes indeed there was. And she's dying to tell us. The shady lodger. Victorian era people be like, anxiety? No, it's demons, literally. Had you noticed anything else about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? Oh my word, yes, the man was shadier than an orchard.
Could you elaborate?
Well, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it is. More than anyone could ever read. And he never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. People like books. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the witches were, but they, and funny, the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too. That's what writers do, they stay up late. He just has a different sleep schedule. What's so wrong about that? The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. What a loser. But I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. He's a hard worker. Or maybe he's just got insomnia.
Could you clarify something, I wonder?
What, pray?
How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine?
Why do you? You like spying on him?
I had understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house. Is that correct?
That's right, yes. They're both below us. On the first floor and street level. Why are you sweating at that?
Then how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example. Even the times they go to bed.
That's what she does when she doesn't want either of them to talk, huh? Good grief, Joan! Be careful, woman! Oh my goodness, sir! I'm terribly sorry, sir! Something doesn't add up here. We're gonna go now.
No worries, Reaper. Get some sleep. Thank you.
Oh yeah, the 1.4 live streams tomorrow. I have to work tomorrow morning. Tomorrow I will be at my SP job during the stream, so I'll have to catch it afterwards. It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out the window at around that time? The window? I mean, we did look at it. It's kind of like foggy and everything.
Yes, we noticed that the window over there. The window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby?
5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garadeb household, so I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan? No, sir, it would have been dusk outside already at that hour, and with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. I see.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then?
Such as?
Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated.
Well. Was there something then? Well, it's nothing particularly significant, but around that sort of time and she does not want him to spill the beans. She knows something. For the love of God, Joan, watch what you're doing! She's worried about him spilling something for sure. So she's spilling tea literally. Fun fact about their house would be like, what their houses would be like. There weren't any building standards for workers' homes, houses in Victorian era, and the entire goal was to pack as many people in as little space as possible. The usual architecture was a couple of rooms stacked one on top of each other, with the stairwell being stepped and squeezed into a small area. Ooh, wow. Oh my god. Yeah, it was like very like tiny. Is it like an older building that's like a remnant from like that time? Jeez. So, wow. I've been in a couple like tiny, like kind of cramped like apartment buildings with like staircases and stuff, like visiting like people's apartments and things. But imagining like living in one of them would be kind of like cramped, definitely for sure. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying, but yeah. Do be more careful, woman. Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow. Yes? I have an exceedingly good memory, and as far as I remember, nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all. Oh, really, Mr. Garadeb? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been. Yep, she's hiding something. Yep, she knows something. Trifling matter. Can you send her out of the room? You get used to it. Oh, yeah. I'm sure, yeah, having to be there for like a year at least. Joan, dash it all! What is the matter with you, woman? Send her out of the room. Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened. She knows something. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal, Joan? That's right, Mr. Garadeb. What is the matter with these two?
It sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident, but what?
Oh, was it just them having a little petty squabble, or does she know something about this incident? Or why this place is in shambles? Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on? Why, certainly, just below us on the first floor.
And Mr. Sholmes is investigating there even as we speak?
She knows she's not getting paid enough for this. So true. Yes, told me Natsu's name, had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services?
That's a blatant lie. Aww. Would it be alright if we also had a look around? In Mr. Natsume's room, I mean? Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Who knows if we'll find anything that could help us with this case, but we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we?
Yes, and while we're there, we could speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more.
Oh, oh. Oh yeah, I have to click on them to talk, it seems, or unless, no, yeah, I would have to click. I can't present anything to them. Man, I can't show them my boyfriend's badge. It's my badge now, I guess. It feels wrong to call it my badge, or Rianovsky's badge, you know? Because it was his! It was his!
Kitty! Kitty! He has a cat! Oh my god, oh, the book said he has a cat!
Oh! Just look at this place and smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountain of old books that are responsible for that. Harlock's in the sack there.
I don't think I've ever seen so many books in my life.
No, me neither. It's so dark in here, too.
Is that the window over there?
Well, it was the window, I think, yes. Once upon a time. But for some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. He didn't do that, did he? Or is that recent?
There's a little baby!
So this is where Mr. Natsume lives.
By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere, have you?
He's under the pile of books! No, that's true, but according to what Mr. Garadeb told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. Oh wait, no. First,
Kitty! Hi, baby! Big stretch! You did a stretch! Oh my, what an adorable little cat! Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away.
I don't know about that. He disappeared into that pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tricolor Mike, wasn't it? Did they even have that sort of cat here? He probably brought it with him.
Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan.
That's made me feel homesick. Aww.
Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days.
But we've been at sea for a while. Oh yeah. Desk.
That desk seems to be wedged to a crevice between the mountains of books on either side.
I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit there and read while stroking his cat. The surrounding outside, but it feels very cozy to be surrounded by books in a nice little space like this with a little soft animal. I would love that.
Yeah, he must have done, mustn't he?
Dreaming of books.
Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from a secondhand bookshop. Your books.
Oh, yes. Mr. Natsume's name is on it. Look. And the date of purchase, 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m. That's the day of the incident.
That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books.
Okay. Alright, the sum of 2 shillings for the picture of Monsieur Lecoq. A meal for Gabriel, Canterbury Yearnings. Alright. Bag. Lucky cat.
Oh look! It's a beckoning cat from home!
It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that mannequin Neko all the way from Japan here.
I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you forgetting the enormous Dharma doll that you brought in your luggage?
Well, it can be dangerous traveling abroad. I wanted a lucky charm. And then Kazuma's sword, too, is kinda...
Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same, and this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him.
It's not doing a very good job so far, is it?
You mustn't say such things!
Yeah, you did. You did say a word. Why are my eyes such a giveaway? I mean, your eyes do often do the, that thing, but... You speak your thoughts, buddy. Look at all those books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling.
They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty.
With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you?
No, what a dreamy idea!
Ryunosuke! Once again, I know you're doing it for him and all, but why are you doing the law thing if you don't like to read? Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again.
So reading it is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us.
I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy. What's this thing? A breaker of sorts? Some sort of meter on the wall here. Looks very robust. I wonder what it's for. There's a slot for inserting coins. Are you gonna touch it?
Ah, I believe that is a gas meter, Mr. Naruhodo.
A gas meter?
Yes, it seems there is piped gas in this district, which consumers pay for by putting coins in the meter.
So it's like how they pay their bills and stuff. So if we were to put a coin in the slot...
That would be enough gas to use the lights in the gas fire for the whole night.
So if you're too poor to have a coin, you'd have to spend the night in a dark and freezing cold.
That's right. As would a rich man who only carried crisp white notes.
Sheesh. Is that... Oh yeah, and the bricked up window. Could you even call this a window?
I think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although all that remains is a frame around some bricks now.
So really it's just a wall then, isn't it? But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that? Okay, he said it, not me. But did Soseki do it out of, like, paranoia?
Perhaps Mr. Natsume painted the brick design on it in a fit of whimsy.
That's alarmingly feasible. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive.
It does.
Brick tax, brick tax! Was that like a thing back in the day? I don't know anything about, like, brick taxes. I need a history lesson. There was. Oh, like for like buildings and stuff? Huh. Huh. It would have been quite expensive to do this then, huh? Alright, Herlock, show yourself. Hi! Look at him. He looks so cozy. Look at him. He looks adorable in there. Hi.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo.
He looks so cozy. There he is. Where did he appear from?
He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. I hope you won't mind me.
Don't disturb people that are reading. I hate being bothered when I'm reading.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
If you startle him, he might knock over the candle and set this whole place up in flames. Ah, you two, good day. Now, let me see. Where was it that we met?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, we were together on the SS Buria.
Victorian London got very stringent on glass, so they taxed homeowners on every pane of glass. So in response, they bricked up their windows. Ah, interesting. Yes, of course, the Buria. So maybe, I don't know if that might be the reason then here. Because it wasn't just, from the outside, it wasn't just this floor that had the bricks. I think every window on the side of the wall did. It eased up later in the century. Ah, okay. Let me see. What happened on that voyage? It was Kazuma Usogi. He died tragically. But you were a great help to us. Ah, yes, but of course, the case of Mr. Usogi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it?
Oh,
Well, you seem to remember something of it at least. He's probably got a lot of cases up there.
what an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes. This is Mr.
Oh, no, my dear madam, hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Is that what he has instead of a mind palace? John seems to be the kind who wouldn't want to renovate and save costs. Yeah, I'm getting that impression. Miss Naruhodo? And Mr. Susato. Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes. I lose the first round. What a silly man. I love him. In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. Some Scotland Yarders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. So they apprehended Sosuke-san in that short amount of time? I'm afraid the pursuits of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little. A little? It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and can distend to any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out the useful ones. Yes, those are my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know, from an adventure titled A Study in Scarlet. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. Is that a real quote from the book? I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately my associate pens them beautifully. He means Iris, I suppose.
Mr. Sholmes? We have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned.
Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madam, I should be only too pleased. And thus murky rooms, enough place to discuss the murky case. First, can you... Mr. Naruhodo, please, despite aspersions to the contrary, I am a professional. If I am to unleash my deductive powers on that trinket, I must ask for a sum of £3 in cash. I don't need you to make any deductions about it. As Mr. Naruhodo, as professional, I insist that if I am to offer my opinion on that trinket, I must ask for a sum of £3 in cash. He's just gonna keep repeating that like a machine.
I believe Mr. Sholmes has his eye on an expensive copy of the complete works of Shakespeare.
Yes, to stand on the stage amid rapturous applause. Just long been it. He wants to be an actor? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oops. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be super fast. I'll be back in a moment. You can have this fun music in the background.
here. I'm back. Let's talk with this man. Hello? Oh, no. Let's chat.
Arrest. Yeah. Hi. We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road. Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines.
But Mr. Natsume denies it. Is it really justifiable to arrest him on so little?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Sato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean.
What?
Can't believe he was looking Sato-san squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance. I assure you, I'm not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. Huh? I assure you, I have no recollection of accusing your stooped compatriot of the crime. But that doesn't make sense. The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request to me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. Seen fleeing, but that's not necessarily an accusation when phrased like that. There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there is a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question. So you don't think that Mr. Natsume is the culprit then? That I could not tell you. That was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books. I found myself quite lost in the bibliophilie. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no.
Oh dear.
Tell me. Have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Garadeb, a retired military man.
It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the Great British Institution that is the services.
They went, haha, Mystery Go Burr ruining a guy's life without... Literally, yeah. I guess it all is a game to him because the game's afoot and everything. Does he not think about the implications this has on other people's lives? And it was the first time I've ever known a maid from the Great British Institution that is service. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid.
Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer.
And so conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the social standard of those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standing? Sorry? Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family.
Goodness, how extraordinary.
As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between middle and lower class, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance. I had no idea. And it is precisely for that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs, specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garadeb. Huh? How so? Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain. I am thoroughly lost on what he means to say. This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later.
Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one.
But sooner or later, as I said.
I don't believe that's the issue here.
About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? No window? Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks. Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Ah, there it is. There's the tax. I see. That's what you meant.
Surely not a tax on windows?
Precisely that.
Oh my goodness.
Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home perhaps, rapidly closed the windows up. Window tax! While the rich opened windows here, there, and everywhere, in an effort to curry favor with those empowered by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. So between the one made and the bricked up walls, Mr. John Garadeb is not super well off.
How awful and unjust for forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light.
Either that or he's just like stingy. Indeed, disease was rife as a result. So some 40 years ago or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings such as these, for example. I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps. It would appear so. I've done a little digging, and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price.
Because this room is so awful, I should think.
Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago. Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. Still, that is of little relevance here, a matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? Do you have anything to say about the receipt? Or no? Well, I believe I've told you all I can now. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remembered that, didn't you? Ah, will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure? On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well then, I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly so. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence? It's really interesting that they're having him question this, like, really early on and everything, because I guess in the trilogy and everything, yeah, Soseki has to move to a new place with no windows and no maintenance, and then it gets accused of murder. Yeah, he's been through too much in, like, just the span of 1 week. But it's very interesting that he's having Ryunosuke kind of, he's, like, questioning, like, what it means to defend a potentially guilty client, like, this early on. Because Phoenix never really had to deal with that until Matt on Guard, and that was at the end of the second game, because I mean, like, as like the hero of the story, you're meant to help defend the innocent and everything, and that's kind of the case. But to have like a protagonist questioning that right off the bat, and to kind of like put that out there is quite interesting, and make you wonder what the right thing to do is. Mr. Sholmes? Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea! I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. He's so real for that. I love books. Nevertheless, there are 2 facts that I can state quite unequivocally. Yeah, I'm dealing with the murkier areas too. Yeah, about like a client who, it was an accident and didn't have an intent to murder or anything, but was under like very, very high stakes circumstances and was understandably paranoid and would try to defend herself in any kind of way that she can. Me and my local bookstore, same. But yeah, it's like not like so black and white in this game as to whether the perpetrator or defendant or victim or whatever, like it's not all like cut and dry. What do you say here? Yeah. Two facts: the man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was a Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to having seen the man commit the crime. And one more thing.
What is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us.
I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I am quite sure that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. And the maid's in on it. Mr. Sholmes said as much before, actually, didn't he? Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case.
Mr. Naruhodo? As yet, our investigations have uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Natsume's innocence.
No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probed a little deeper into Mr. Garrett-Epps' secret. Pavlova was the perpetrator, but she didn't mean for it to happen, true. Didn't mean for him to trip and everything, exactly. But still that happened regardless, and what do you do with that? Like, yeah, it's so complex and I love it. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. Will he be back there if I go scoot over there?
Hi, bestie!
Shouldn't disturb him while he's reading. Yes, so true. To be so true. To be or not to be. That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruto. To be or not to be Mr. Natsume's defense attorney. To be brushed off, that is the question. And the answer's all too clear.
Let's leave Mr. Sholmes in peace, shall we?
Alright, let's go back upstairs. They're gone. Oh no, they're there. Never mind. Ah, you pair again. Tell me, was the detective chap, I forget his name, still hard at work down there? Working hard or hardly working?
Mr. Herlock Sholmes?
Ah, yes, rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there. Jolly good, I gotta give him the Pops voice now. Oh, jolly good show! Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. It's gonna be very bad, but... Now then, why don't you for the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're ballywell doing? I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave if you'd be so kind.
Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all your assistance.
Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck, and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrett-Epps is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open, perhaps we should do some digging. Should we, snoop again? Are we gonna get any new information by, clicking around? We already clicked everything, but are we gonna get new information? I love it. Oh my god. I love it. Just seeing him like that.
Mr. Sholmes?
Ah, we meet again, my dear fellows. Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? He vented. Herlock Sholmes, at your service. Whatever were you doing over by the window? Me when there's that one image of the queen hanging off the door. Which image? Which image? I am given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such an observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Well, keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. And one other thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detectives. Oh my god! Logic and reasoning spectacular time! Yes, 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 yes! Oh, it's photoshopped, oh no. It's time! Do you mean? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. May I see even the most trivial of trifles? I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo? I think so. There is just some time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Let's go! Mr. Garadep. But it's funny, I need to see it. Though it would seem you are a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first-rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon, deduction, yes, deduction dance! Let him do the punchy dance again. The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. He's not talking about the cat, that's Mr. Nasube's cat, right? And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you've lost something very dear to you.
Mr. Naruhodo, look!
The young man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholm's conclusions are both spot on. How could you possibly? How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? Is the top result when you type Queen Liz door image? I will do that right now. Oh, hi Luigi Laboca. Oh, I have seen this one. I have seen this one. He literally... I have seen this one. Literally looked just like that. They're like, spot the difference. If a meme of a spot the difference between that doesn't exist, like, there's gotta be one. The queen has breached containment. Yep, that's him. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. What a loser. I love him. And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. There we go. The game is afoot. Let's go. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? He looked, oh, he's looking that way. He's looking. Lion. Ah, for a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garadeb, leads us directly to the answer. Is he gonna say a lion? Oh my god. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this piffle, I ask you? In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from the India, which you tried to keep in this very house. What? Oh my, oh, he has a scar. We haven't seen that side of his face before. Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well, yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. We sure haven't. Yeah, we haven't seen that side of his face. Oopsies. That's covering it. There's no good place to put my camera. But protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circus show. Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garrett. At Batty's Circus, a traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I've observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. It's not the cat that it is, right? But the way he looked, does he have a picture of another pet that he looked up at on the mantle? Now, Mr. Garadeb. Yeah, he just wants to go to the circus. Yeah, let him have a little fun. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed. In that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Oh yeah, he always was holding that. Yeah. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing someone so dear to you was clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man, I simply... But what must we now ask of ourselves is the true cause of this pain? First, I actually want to... If I looked at people, do I still... Oh, I have a front view of him. We have a front view of him, but we don't see a scar. Oh, he's only 46, huh? Maid, her name is Joan. Great detective. And you need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. It is this pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on financial circumstances of your household. And so you have no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over... I did notice this. Oh yeah, the carpet doesn't go to the edge. I did notice there was like a hole there, and then there's a candle on the ground. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dearie me! What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noblewoman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There is only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet! The teeth marks on the carpet? A perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. Bro is pogging. Rog! What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea over me. He has tea repellent clothes, I'm sure. I'm sorry, Mr. Garadeb. I'm afraid I didn't notice. I feel like she does notice. My deduction can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times, too. Oh! Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it, again? Well, your deductions just now... Do you really think a lion could have fit in a room of this size? Double paw, yeah, they were both pawing. Indeed, it is the only explanation for the fox. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. Wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well?
But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garrett and his maid would have been hurt, or worse.
Unless it was a little cub. That's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon. Oh my god. I thought you said they sold the lion to the circus.
And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I have ever heard of a lion that drinks tea.
Ah, my dear Mr. Sato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea.
Oh, what a glorious notion! Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again.
I had a feeling this was coming.
A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it!
Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. So does he get things wrong on purpose because he wants me to correct them? Or does he actually believe this? I genuinely can't tell. I don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe. Man. Let us start again from the beginning of Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Hold it, Mr. Sholmes!
Alrighty. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes were uncommonly candid. He looks up there. I really didn't see the lion thing coming.
No, but if you observe Mr. Garrett reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room.
Yes, something with a very fierce nature.
But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India.
So what was it?
We must follow Mr. Garrett's gaze.
Alrighty. What is this? What's this photograph?
It appears to be from Mr. Garrett's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he?
He does, but you can't make out his bride.
No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face.
That's not Joan, is it?
This photograph!
Very Tigroff. Yes. Look at this photograph, indeed. But no amount of cracks could hide. I wonder who that could be. He doesn't have any maids, but he has a maiden. It's a big ring. A sunflower.
Take that!
The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, do you think he is the membership to the glorious guild of Costco? Oh my god, yes! Yes, whatever year this takes place in, ancient British Costco. Not ancient, but you know. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garrett. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. She's strong. Oh, indeed. Surely any woman of such a powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Honored might be stretching a point. Too late. The fact remains that this beast, which so clearly savaged this room, was your wife, Mr. Garadeb. Yeah. And she's right there. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well. Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam.
Me?
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but just plain to me with one glance in your direction. Mm-hmm.
The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well,
I wouldn't
the wait
say...
is over, my comrade.
Oh my god! Angie! Thank you so much for the raid! Oh, my camera's covering that, but welcome, raiders! Thank you so much for the raid! I'm also in Angie. I play a lot of RPGs and visual novels. And we're playing some great Ace Attorney tonight. But thank you so much for the raid! How was your stream? But yeah, were you playing some more Baldur's Gate? Or, oh my god, you were playing the Great Ace Attorney? Oh my god! Oh wait, why is that? Why did it shout out me? What the hell? I'm so sorry, I don't know why that didn't work. I don't know why my shout out isn't working. You got to Act 2! Ooh, nice! yeah, it's weird. That is very weird. I don't know if it just got confused. Why won't it work? There we go! I don't know, maybe it was the caps. It's weird, the caps was weird. Okay, but there we go, yes. But you're doing the Astarion run still, right? But that's cool, nice. I just recently got to Act 2 in my solo playthrough. I've gone through like 5 different tabs, and it's taken a while for me to actually commit to one. But I'm actually gonna do it. Just been doing weird stuff for me today too with some of channel points. That's weird, yeah. I had some weird things happening yesterday with channel points not working. Twitch is weird sometimes, it really is. But Astarion Origin, nice. But yeah, thanks again for the raid, everybody. Thank you. But yes, we are doing a deduction with the one and only Sherlock Holmes, Ace Detective. But yes, thanks again for the raid. If you need to rest, do what you gotta do, take care of yourself. Yeah, but thanks again. I don't know about fragile.
Oh dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of Mr. Garadeb anywhere.
There's a clue as to her whereabouts the maid is trying to hide. Over these divorce papers. Welcome, yes, we are acing some attorneys now. Your dress pockets. The teapot. Where her tea could be. Where his wife could be. In the teapot. Now there's a circus handbook poking out from her pocket.
Batty Circus. Currently performing shows in a park not far from here.
You don't think... He didn't sell his wife? No.
Mr. Naruhodo, how could you even think such a thing?
I was only joking.
Besides, I would have gone with, do you think he fed her to his pet lion?
That's somehow worse. I'm sure this is the wife. Two tightly shut eyes to avoid even the chance of a giveaway glance. Pursed lips to prevent any secrets from slipping out. Rounded cheeks to deflect any abuse that might be hurled her way. Yes, this is an unnervingly powerful woman, Miss Susato.
It's your turn of phrase that's unnerving, Mr. Naruhodo.
Take that!
Oh, I messed up. Oops, that's not it. Oops. I'm not even sure if I should voice this. It's impossible to believe it could be true, yet for some reason the thought came into my mind. I messed up. That the servant maid is in fact a mighty goddess of destruction! I'm jumping ahead of things here. What spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion? I might be getting ahead of things. I think this is the wife. It's supposed to be logic and reasoning spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to the show. This is my show, Mr. Naruhodo. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments out on your own stage. Oh, we're not doing it for him very well. Sorry. Huh. What else is there? The teapot? I didn't examine the teapot. Does she have a ring? Aha! Yes! There it is! There it is.
Take that!
There it is. We just needed the evidence. We needed to see the evidence of them being married. Like, just pointing her out wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. They fought! Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. Fortress are identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garadeb's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary housemaid. No. You are Mr. Garadeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garadeb herself. Mm-hmm. Oh my word! Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmised, this is the wife, yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she was a bruh. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you! He has his wife dress up as a maid just for, like, some sort of, like, social standing. Wow. I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though, in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You mean Mr. Garadeb has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garadeb? Only in company, obviously, but listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please! The raging wife of Mr. Garadeb. Okay. Now, Mr. Garadeb. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this. Feelings, aww. In that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavily on your shoulders. Oh, did she give him that scar last night? I'm thinking, did they like really get into like a tussle? Sheesh. Or like that mark. It might not be a scar, it might just be like a mark, and that's why we don't see it in like his profile in the court record. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garadeb's wife a beast.
Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable.
But Mrs. Garadeb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Well, they clearly fought.
So perhaps that supporting arm seems to be propping up his head has some other significance.
Yep, he's hiding the mark on his face. Mr. Garadeb's pain is tangible, though. Slapped cheek.
Take that!
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade. Was you, Madame Joan Garadeb?
Well, yes.
That's not something to be proud of, ma'am! Don't do that to your husband! You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. Ah! How the blazes! How did you work that out, man? Oh my god, he's facing the front. This is like front-facing Phineas, where it's just like, he's got like the long face and everything, and now just facing forward, it's so narrow and uncanny. Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. Well, Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garadeb to fly into a rage. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of bills. This book, maybe?
Didn't Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder?
Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr.
Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing.
A real bean-shaped face. Yeah, he's just got the whole curve. She's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard it left a perfect hand mark, in fact.
Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder?
I'd love to know the answer to that question. What's that? A bookmark? Broken plate. Ooh.
Oh dear, this plate has been smashed to pieces. And nobody seems inclined to tidy up the mess.
Perhaps it's some sort of high art.
Really, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, anyone who has a cannon on display in their living room is clearly a little eccentric.
Yes, let's call it eccentricity.
Well, there's... bookmark. Ooh, what's this? Oh, is he cheating?
Someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look! Mr. Garadeb is clearly an avid reader.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark.
Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours,
Oof. Next to the signature,
lip marks made with lipstick.
Oof.
What a passionate and romantic gesture.
But he's having an affair, it seems.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
It's actually a love note. Uh-oh.
Take that!
Big yikes. I'm guessing they couldn't get divorced in this day and age, really. It's this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Oh, angry. Perhaps the sender of this note to certain Miss Mary is the fly in the ointment here. Oh, hey! But I don't know the bally woman. You don't know her? That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how I got there. It was just in there, you say? That's right. That's why I bet. Ah! Oh no!
A likely story.
Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought a book at that second-hand place, and that note must have already been in there. She said, my God, I can't even read that. I'm just gonna put my head up in the corner for the time being. So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right, but I've been... Blah, 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 blah.
A likely story.
For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name! It's written to James! My name, in case you'd forgotten, is John! Oh my God, it's a misunderstanding. Bruh. Are you questioning my name now? Oh my God, girl, stop! And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart and unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Burn. There was a fire, I'm guessing. Something is burned, and it looks like ashy kind of too. Very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. The wandering eye has touched upon the answer very neatly indeed. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the candle.
But surely Mrs. Garadeb didn't eat the carpet.
No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper.
No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholm's deduction that we need to fix. We need only follow Mr. Scaradup's gaze, and that'll tell us the real answer.
Alrighty, let's see. I'm sure it's the candle, isn't it? Wait, or is it not? Or can I look over here? It's been ripped to shreds, or maybe not.
According to Mr. Sholm's deduction, the tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly.
Oh, yeah. Aha, candle. You can see scorch marks, it was burned.
In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all.
Sholmes, if you try to say that she ate it! And then she said it too. You ate the carpet! It's a good fiber. Oh, candle, yeah, oh, the candles are there. Candlestick.
Take that!
Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks? It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Mrs. Garreteb's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of a strike caused a candle to fall from the holder, and in seconds, the carpet was alight and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, for the most ferocious beast in the world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but a fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Aww. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you! Aww. So I guess this is why it was kind of occupied in here last night, so they couldn't have seen anything. And when we looked at the window, it was kind of like fuzzy and foggy looking, and that wouldn't alone. Yeah, it's these gosh long winter nights, you know, nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material.
For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be a rather closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly Here we go again. And the carpet, was that destroyed by a fire when a candle fell on the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. Herlock, come on. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being.
Over here, Mr. Garreteb?
Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me. Oh, jeez. Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Gosh. Then the wife started hurling things at me.
What a terrible sight it must have been.
There was I, back up against the window under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. worst of it, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? Ah yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again. I assure you, the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage.
Mr. Shulman's deductions turned out to be correct once again.
Can only be described as a great British wonder. I tell you, is it total carnage? Flames everywhere and the old stick in full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think.
So at exactly the same time as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. Well, a woman was stabbed down there, but also, yeah. The whole of a blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment. I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really?
Do we know the woman that was stabbed's name? Was her name Mary? I don't know. That could be a connection, I don't know. Out of curiosity. Mr. Shulms? Yes, Mr. Naruhodo, what can I do for you? Well, I think we got to the bottom of Mr. Garredub's situation now, but what does it have to do with Mr. Natsube's circumstances? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not. I just knew you were going to say that! Oh, no, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only 2 categories, those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense to me. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Sorry? Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh no, it's that time already. No!
If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to.
So that's it, no more time to think.
Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garredub.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry.
Thank you both very much for your time.
Sosuke-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. Alright. Hi! Oh wait, this is the wrong place. I meant to go to the prison.
It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison.
Oh yeah, let's have a huh? Oh.
What's the matter?
Looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garredub's house. Huh? Who's this court jester fruitcake loser? I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. What you calling an old man? You're what the? Nimini Pimini? What? Who? What? What's happening? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamt of. Oh, he's a thespian. Is he, a thespian? Ah, he's doing a Shakespeare. Is there more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamt of in your philosophy? What's this, Horatio, fella? Hey, what are you on about?
Excuse me?
What the? Who are you now?
I'm so sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
A lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law. Yes. What's happening here? And I'll be on my way for today, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet. Get thee to a nunnery. Oh my god. Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? Oh my god. Shakespearean insults, baby.
I do hope you're not injured.
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Oopsies, I clicked too quickly. But he said, thank you. Oh, just thank you. What's all that about?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here in the Garadeb residence?
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Garrett mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor?
Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume.
Oh, more worthy of polemist in my battle of words, now could there be. Oh my god, are they rivals? I love this loser. Are they literary rivals? Oh my god, everyone's got a rival! Except Ryunosuke, but... Man! So many rivals in this case. Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. Oh my god! And they were rivals! I see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least.
So, fair maiden, so good gentleman, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. Alright.
I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
Seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Sosuke-san and that man as lodgers, the Garadeb house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over.
Hi, friend. Hi.
Come on, we gotta do it. We gotta represent him. Look at his little puppy dog eyes. Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Locum student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire! I can't believe you came back! I'm so touched! Oh, I love him.
We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, no, think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nipponese! Oh, now let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There is nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... Hi! It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. My face is covering her locks. Oh, it's you! The miserable rotten spy, Hairlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything, per se. Save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean,
Mr. Sholmes?
Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow, in this oh, bro! My god! Harlock! Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ah, yo! How dare you, Harlock Jones! Bro is seething. Oh. I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed into haunted by spirits. My whole life has been end. The slow turn.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? We have to!
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Hi. Cursed trial. Is it because of, Van Zeeks Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you just said now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed. Oh no, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You don't mean that the trial really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor? The Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please tell me. Summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly! Yes, that's what he's focusing on.
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
We gotta get this guy a bodyguard or something. Mr. McGill did. What? Oh, I am impressed, Miss Susato. You have an eye for detail.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes? Surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zeeks killed the man himself?
Oh no, he couldn't have, surely.
You have some wonderful notions! Sorry? Huh? The man isn't a mass murderer, he's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
Yes, why of course he is.
Of course he is! Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? The Reaper! Van Zeeks is quite an exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. That's good. Sosuke-san looks like he's gonna cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, while the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, could use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal. Contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, sussy witnesses, and so on. By such underhanded means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wronged verdict can be passed.
People can be corrupt in the court system. And sadly is from time to time, my dear madam. It is simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright? However, those indicted by Lord Van Zeeks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed.
Oh my.
Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months, they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear? But how? By all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage, perhaps they fall into the Thames and drowned, but perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, I knew it.
I'm a dead, total, done for, doomed! No, we gotta break the cycle here. When you said cursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garredep's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me, and I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
Aww. You must have been very lonely, having been far away from your homeland for such a long time.
I've had to move a number of times, most recently to the room on Briar Road a week ago now.
Aww.
Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops! He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him,
You have something to say, then say it, but if not, don't mention it in the first place!
"Yes," Whelp said. "Yeah, good point." But it was true, it was all true! You mean the room really is cursed, then? Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole. My sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one Yeah! You gotta do it. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all? To believe. Yes, to believe. Mr. Sholmes? Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Buria, if you recall. Oh. The Buria. Ah, that case! The one with the snake? Well, yes. At the time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate. I did, didn't I? Interesting. What I want to know is why? Why did you believe in me? I see, yes. You mean... because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room? Well, if you like, yes. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it. But I could have been lying! Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me. Huh? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. Aww, but I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning, whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right!
He's right, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire!
Whether or not I can believe myself. I knew he was gonna be on the screen! I'm throwing up! A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. I'm throwing up. You were so right, Kazuma. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me?
Oh dear, there never is enough time, is there?
Are we going into the trial tomorrow? Like, with what, just what we got here? I don't have much evidence. Mr. Natsume? If you'd like, in the trial tomorrow. Do it, do it, do it, do it! I'd be happy to represent. Yes, yes, yes! Aww. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. Aww. As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in? The defendant, justice, or the truth? How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. Aww. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Aww. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Miss Susato?
Yes?
Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
Aww. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time that I learn to believe in myself. Sosuke-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. We got this. We got this. Aww. I'm feeling all warm and fuzzy. We'll pick up with this next week. Alright. Alright, we'll end it there for tonight, and, I don't know if you can hear my dogs barking. They're howling, my little beagles are howling. But, we'll pick up with this next week. Man. Oh, man. My boy Ryunosuke is really coming into himself, and I'm really proud of him. Oh, I'm really proud of how he's grown in such a short amount of time, becoming, like, going from, like, doubting whether he's, like, worthy or capable of being in this profession, to, like, thinking about, like, you know what, I really need to trust my instincts. That's the thing that I gotta rely on the most. And getting empowered by Herlock and Kazuma and everything, and, like, yeah. I hope it goes well. I really do. Although I'm a little scared after the way the previous trial ended. I am kind of scared as to where this is gonna go. But I need my boy Sosuke to be okay. He's a little puppy, and I need him to reunite with his cat. But thanks for sharing. Thank you for being here. We'll pick it up next week, Monday, most likely, since I don't have to go to jury duty on Monday. Let's go! But thanks again for being here. Have a great rest of your day or night, and a great weekend as well. Sometime in the near future, I may do a little test stream of he's finally building some self-confidence through the turmoil. Exactly, yeah. I may do a test stream of Final Fantasy XIV at some point, or like a weekend or something. Maybe try streaming that in 1080 resolution, and bumping up the bitrate, and hopefully I don't drop frames, because historically I have dropped frames when I've had to do that, and that's why I stream in 720. But that means with the lower bitrate, when so much happens on screen, it all turns to pixels. So I'm hoping we can kind of ease that a little bit, but we'll see. Anyways, that's all. Thanks again.